Okay, so now let's talk about Amazon FSx, which is a managed service to get third-party high-performance file systems on AWS. So in case you don't want to use EFS or S3 and you want something else, then you can use FSx to manage these file systems. So you have three offerings today. You have FSx for Lustre, FSx for Windows File Server, and FSx for NetApp ONTAP. And they can add file systems over time to the FSx service, I'm pretty sure, but I will not update this video unless you need to know about the other ones. So the two most important ones are going to be FSx for Lustre and FSx for Windows File Server, and this is what is covered in this lesson. The first one is Amazon FSx for Windows File Server, which is a fully managed, highly reliable, and scalable Windows native shared file system built on Windows File Server. So this is meant for Windows instances. So the way you do it is that you deploy the FSx, usually across two availability zones, and then there is support for all the Windows native protocols, such as the SMB protocol and Windows NTFS, which allows you to mount this file system onto your Windows machines. And so if you look at your corporate data center and you have a Windows client, for example, over SMB, it's able to access the Windows file server. But also if you had EC2 instances that are Windows-based, then they could also might as well access this Windows file server. So Amazon FSx is the way to deploy this Windows file server that leverages the SMB protocol and Windows NTFS. Because this is also a Microsoft type of offering, there is integration with Microsoft Active Directory for user security, and Windows file server in Amazon FSx can be accessed from AWS directly, or as you can see on this diagram, from your on-premises infrastructure. Now, the second flavor of Amazon FSx you have in AWS is called Amazon FSx for Lustre. And you need to remember that this is to have a fully managed, high performance and scalable file storage for high performance computing. So whenever you see storage for HPC, so high performance computing, think FSx for Lustre. Why? Well, Lustre is derived from the name Linux and cluster. So put together, it's Lustre. And so imagine cluster like processing this kind of things. Maybe it's a way for you to remember what Amazon FSx for Lustre is. This allows you to run a lot of use cases for high performance computing, such as machine learning, analytics, video processing, financial modeling, and it scales to extremely high traffics in terms of hundreds of gigabytes per second of data exchanged, millions of IO operations per second, sub-milliseconds latency, so it's really a high-performance file system. So the way it works is that Amazon FSx for Lustre can be connected either to your corporate data center or to your compute instances directly within AWS, and then in the backend, Amazon FSx for Lustre is actually storing your data, possibly onto an Amazon S3 bucket. So that's it. That's all you need to know for Amazon FSx. There's no easy hands-on to do it, so I will skip that. But just remember the two flavors of Amazon FSx going into the exam, and you should be good to go. So that's it. I will see you in the next lecture.